As a fresh conscript in the armed forces of the Russian Federation, after deserting my small Estonian military outpost, I was thrown into battle against an unknown military force. After my squad leader had to leave to clean up his dog's vomit, I was forced to take control of the squad leader position. And that is when hell let loose. Command chat was tearing up my ears as squad mates frantically radioed in, calling out the positions of advancing enemy infantry. Yet the worst was yet to come. As I hurriedly tried to organize a quick defense of our lonely FOB, the sounds of heavy armor and roaring engines came alive. "Enemy armor coming from the west," screamed our marksman over the radio from his forward observation position. "No more rockets," replied the only light anti-tank squad mate. There was no more ammo left in the FOB, and not a single rifleman had an ammo bag, let alone more than 2 rifle magazines. There was no hope in sight for my brothers in arms and I. Although we had no defense against this rolling bunker headed straight for us, we had to try something to slow the advance of the enemy in order to prolong defense. I had told my men to take as many infantry as they could and to throw smoke to cover the road and blind the drivers of the tank. The orders from command soon drowned out as bullets and tank shells whipped overhead, destroying our sandbag line. My brothers fought until the last bullet, charging with knives in their hands through the smoke-covered streets. As I get up to charge into the fray, the world began to get dark as all color faded. I had been hit. Not more than 2 steps had I taken past the remnants of our fighting position before I fell to the ground. I lay there helplessly as the enemy armor shred my friends to scraps and as the enemy infantry overrun our position. It was over. In a matter of seconds, my life and my future was over. My dying wish that I had left his server sooner. To sum up my experience of squad, allow me to take you on a journey through the very first match I ever played. I launch my game, sit on my phone for a moment, and await the squad home screen to pop up. After which I pulled up the server browser menu and picked the server with the lowest ping. I joined mid-game, as is typical with the first game of your session, and only one squad had an opening. After joining the squad and spawning on a rally, I played with my squad in the enjoyably tactical way that most of squad is played. After a few minutes, I was killed from a contact in a compound within 100 meters of my squad. I was ordered by my SL, squad leader, to spawn at main, hop in an MRAP with my squad mate, and provide fire support by driving through the center of the compound and unloading on everything. At that very moment, I knew I loved everything about this game, but it still got better. I hopped on the gun and was bubbling with excitement as my character even did an animation. Pulling the massive hammer back and cocking the MG mounted atop the badass armored truck, good lord, I have never been more immersed. When we were closing in on the compound, my driver yelled in proximity chat, "Lay out anything that moves." As we squeezed through the small gate at the southern end of the compound, I saw a whole squad standing in the middle of the road. Oh boy, did I lay them out. Gunfire is roaring, dust is flying, bullets are whizzing, and people are yelling. I was satisfying some sick part of myself I didn't know I had. I kept firing. Through doors, windows, walls, wherever someone stood there was a bullet to take their place. I was grinning ear to ear even up to the very end, when I got kicked for team kill. Squad is like future girlfriend. You meet her. You get to know her name. You stalk her on social medias. You go on a date. You do all the small things to please her. Follow her guidelines for a successful first date. Do what she tells you to do, and you do it because you believe you will get satisfied later on with some action. You get to take her home with you. You kiss her. You get under her dress. You get your first handful of the action promised. And boom! Right when you thought things went smoothly, you get blasted with comrades shouting on the radio, mortars exploding all over, machine gun fire from your left, vehicles on fire to your right, and a squad leader yelling for backup from other squads. You try to get your bearings, listen to what she tells you need to do, but in the end, you die from the sheer thrill of getting some action. When you finally come to yourself, you are exhausted. You leave her alone for some hours, but in the end you think to yourself, Hey, let's do this again. This is fun. And you die again. Please marry me, squad. First time opening the game joins a random game of insurgency on Kohat Toy. Already know the controls, super easy. Joins random squad, says hi. Squad leader freaks out like Commanding Officer Stone Mountain 64. Search it up. I grab the M249 like requested and we move across the mountains. Look over the hill just to check. 25 plus Taliban militants on the other side within 200 meters. We are 5. Run inside compound with about 18,000 rounds per minute in my direction. Scared, now RPG starts flying. We sit here for about 10 minutes, can't move, don't want to look. RPG fire still outside, entire mountain shooting at us. Friendly squad shows up with 2 M249s and an M4 with an ACOG. Entire mountain scatters and runs away. We are safe. Decides to move back to base to resupply, gets blown up by friendly grenade. Look on map. We were sitting inside the cache compound the entire time. 10 out of 10 should have worn my brown pants. Sail, buy squad, join first server IC, clueless, JPG, create squad. It's my first game, sorry. 7 people join, gives commands. They are genuinely doing what I tell them to, take an objective, get commended by other squad leaders for doing a good job, still clueless. Continue game. L1. Somehow, squad tells me I'm a good leader and some of them add me on Steam 12 out of 10. Imagine being a squad leader in charge of 8 others. Other squad leader asks for my support, so I move my squad around for a flank. Before we get in place, a grenade goes off and kill my marksman and machine gunner. Everyone gets down. We're in the middle of the woods. Bullets are coming from everywhere but behind us. I place down a rally point for a respawn for my guys. We hold our position for at least 10 minutes, fighting off countless enemies from all around. I radio to the other squads that are surrounded and need backup. In return, I got, Roger that squad leader 3, yeah, your bro IDK what to do LOL. Decide to bold an FOB in place and defend this area. For the next hour, I have half of my men using shovels to build sandbag walls and HESCO barriers, while the other half keeps the enemy distracted. The amount of gunfire and explosions and people screaming around as I try to get this base build is unreal. The enemy keeps launching grenades at our walls and blowing up our ladders. Finally, first squad comes around and flanks the enemy to take them out. 10 out of 10 would listen to my men cry for their mommies and wives again. There's 2 types of squads. The first is as follows. Contact, 150 meters, bearing 065. Pop smoke, machine gunners rapid fire, suppress the enemy. The rest of the squad flank right up the tree line. Man down in the AO. We need a medic. 1 KIA. We need to fall back to grid. E6 keypad 4 to resupply at the FOB and prepare for the next assault while Charlie and Delta cover our flank. Then there's the other type of squad. Hello? Silence. Hello? Allah Akbar. TK's entire squad. It's the best game evers. Play this game if you like. Anything. I no longer play console. I no longer play any other game even. The other day my wife was like, "You're still alive. I totally haven't seen you on the other side of the apartment since August when you got access to closed alpha." I think she got remarried. I don't know. She started saying something, but then I found the next cache. Immediately put the headphones on so I could report into my squad. Get the game. Yo, get the game. Update November 2020. I was serious about getting the game. It's been 5 years. Playing squad lasted longer than that marriage. No regrets, just waiting on those damn fast ropes. Very few games capture the real-world feel of being led by an 8-year-old into modern conflict and the slaughter that follow. 10 out of 10. This game is so realistic that my girlfriend cheated on me while playing to make it more immersive. 10 out of 10. My wife also left me while I played this game very realistic. Join game and get into squad with a player playing as Scout. Scout can put down IEDs and detonate them remotely. Be standing in spawn. Scout whips out an IED and sticks it on my butt while I'm crouching. It sticks and doesn't fall off. Everyone is laughing. I'm the squad suicide bomber. Proceed to charge into battle. Forget about IED. Kill a few dudes. End up running into enemy squad around corner. Remember? IED. Charge around corner while telling scout to detonate his IED. Enemies mow me down for a second, they think they have won. No. IED explodes a second after I die. The squad gets blown up. Enemies are salty as all hell in all chat. Allahu Akbar. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and a 100% team play if your squad is okay. I followed a 14-year-old into battle, squeaky voice and all. Actually one of the best SL I've played with. 8 out of 10 will follow squeaky voice into battle again. Be me trying to capture a town. Entire squad is dead except medic buddy, talking with medic to figure out how to not die. See something land next to us. Medic in calmest voice ever. That's a grenade. I look at it, equally calm. We are turned into red paste. 10 out of 10 would become desensitized to impending death again. Be me. Create a new squad and be SL for the first time. Instantly a bunch of randoms join. Game starts and other SLs don't have a plan. No idea what I'm doing either. Somehow my guys follow my orders. No questions asked. Worried we are all just a bunch of casuals that are going to get wiped out as soon as we get into contact. Hike across map for 20 minutes stressing out about it. Enemies spotted. All hell breaks loose. Everyone starts shooting. Everyone starts screaming. Gunfire and explosions so loud and close I sot my pants. In the mayhem, I can hear my squad call out targets and take hostiles down like stone-cold killers. We push forward and wipe out 3 enemy squads, a BTR, a loggy truck, and an enemy fob. Our squad is so good, others start thanking us wherever we go. Other squad leaders start arguing with each other over who needed our help first. We become the stuff of legends and take out yet another squad, another BTR, and another enemy fob. Game abruptly ends. 10 seconds of silence staring at score screen. Our squad is best in every category. Squad mates say I was the best SL they ever played with. Get 5 new Steam friend invites. Made more friends in squad in one game than anywhere else IRL. 11 out of 10. Will my pants and squad lead again? Like Arma, except you don't have to pretend that you're having fun. Hey squad lead, can we get a rally point down? Bidzui, Yabada Wagwarin. Roger that squad lead. My squad was in a compound pinned down by an American MRAP with a mounted .50 cal. Suddenly, I notice that one of my squad mates is bent over yelling Allah Akbar, and I see another squad mate placing an IED onto the back of the former squad mate. My other squad mates also took notice, and everyone also started screaming Allah Akbar in support of our brave comrade. He then bum-rushed the MRAP, IED still on his back, and then when he finally made it, the explosives were detonated and the MRAP was destroyed and we were no longer pinned down. Squad and proximity chat was basically unintelligible for the next 10 minutes. Thank you for your great sacrifice, my friend. Imagine instead of writing Shakespeare, you get 50 monkeys together to create and execute a military operation against another 50 monkeys. Welcome to Squad. 10 out of 10. Buy game. Get on server. Run around for 2 hours in the desert. Get to the fob. Get shot in the head. 11 out of 10, just like real war. Joins Aussie server. Spawned in on the militia side at the start of the map. One guy screams, "You're not a real terrorist unless you shoot your gun in the air." Whole team starts shooting and firing RPGs into the air, screaming, "Allah Akbar!" 9 out of 11 would play this amazing terrorist simulator again. Like Arma 2/3, but you don't have to pretend it's fun because it actually is. Second match in the game playing as Insurgent, I look down on my feet and I notice I'm wearing flip-flops in combat. We are already being overrun by enemies that have the high ground on us. Explosions and bullet cracks everywhere. Teammates are screaming for help, but most of them are yelling, Allah Akbar. I see a fellow Taliban, him and his glorious beard and turban, waving an RPG trying to get his sights on the non-believers. I go behind him and yell, Allah Akbar. He immediately picks up on it, yells Allah Akbar, and discharges that rocket launcher of his. And in all that chaos and excitement, I totally forgot about the RPG's backblast. 10 out of 10 would get blown off my flip-flops from an RPG backblast while in a Taliban frenzy again. Probably the best and most immersive multiplayer FPS game I've ever played. Took a role of a medic just to listen people say, "You know you're legend. Tell my wife I loved her and I don't want to die," while I bandage them and yell, "Don't you dare to die on me." 10 out of 10 would heal again. Joined squad name, Company B Yacht. All Russians tried not to speak so they don't know I'm not Russian. Alof of Davai and Psych 4, SL called my name Panic. He said some crazy long Russian sentences, replied with "Da." Got away with it. Later on, a squad member approached me, whispered quietly in local voice, "Hey, I don't know Russian too." Instantly became friends.